Good morning. It is Sunday. God, I think it's the 17th of August, and I am in Newcomb, New York. I'm up here visiting my dad. Later on today, we're going to bury my mom. But I thought before everyone woke up, I would take a quick little walk up to the Santanoni, I guess there's a great camp up here, but it's 5 miles away, and it's just a little bit too much for me to get back in time for Mass, and I don't want to get in trouble. But there's the gatehouse is right up the street here, and it's really kind of cool. And so I thought I would just film and walk and talk a little bit. But this is the street where he lives on, and you can see it is super quiet. Even the highway that I used to be afraid to let my kids anywhere near is very quiet at 6 o'clock in the morning. But come along. This is where I used to take them for a walk, and it's a pretty cool little area, little piece of Americana, I guess you could say. Oh, hopefully you can read that sign, but this is the Santanoni Preserve, and this is the only great camp that is owned by the state of New York. Right behind it is this nice little bed and breakfast that my brother's family and I stayed in a long time ago because we were overflowing my parents' house. I don't know if there's anybody in it right now, so I won't get too invasive or anything, but it's owned by their friends, my parents. This is the road to the Great Camp off of State Highway 28 that you saw me cross just a few minutes ago, that runs in front of the Airbnb that I showed you back there. And just, it's much greener than my usual walks and hikes, and very, very quiet. You can see the woods here. Relatively thick, and I should have brought a coat because it's a little bit colder out here than I expected. We are only about a quarter mile off of the main road there, and you can see you'd drive right here from Route 28, and we're coming in here. This thing was built in 1892, what it's saying on the sign. Preserve, and we cross this bridge, and then there's parking up here for people who want to hike. You can mountain bike, you can do what I'm doing and walk up there, or there's sometimes a horse-drawn carriage that takes people for a ride. This small river or big stream, whatever you'd like to call it, empties out into, wish I could remember the name of the lake, down the road here. And that's where the town beach is, where my kids used to play when they were younger. And up here you're going to see on the right the gatehouse, where I guess visitors used to have to come through and things. It's now inhabited by students from a local college that come here. I guess they're ecology students or something like that. It's an impressive little structure. You can see they got a nice setup for the people who stay here, and probably give little tours and things, and it goes right along the stream. Just some more outbuildings. I don't know if they're original or not, but we are right here at the start of, well, I guess you can't say the start of the camp because that would be the gatehouse, but kind of what I like to call the start of the walk. And that lake I couldn't remember is, you're going to see right here, Lake Harris. And I am going to walk up to the farm and back, so it's not going to be that far this morning on here, but it is kind of interesting, so just thought I would do that. It might be the last time I get up here to do it, but hopefully I'll be able to be back next summer and take a better video of this whole thing, because the Great Camp itself is very interesting. And you might be asking what I'm talking about if you're like me and not from this area. I guess people used to build, wealthy people obviously, these giant great camps to come in here for the summer to escape the heat from further south in New York. And they would have a working farm and everything else to support that, but they would summer up here. This right here is something they have all throughout the state of New York, and even though I don't think I need to do it, I'll do it anyway. But you register before you go in on a trail so that they know who's in there and who's come out. So find the next empty slot and good heavens, put your name in. But I won't bore you with all that. I'll just go ahead and get it done and pick you back up on the trail. And here we are at the farm. You can see the different homes or buildings they have here, and you can actually walk in to most of them. Now I think that one is still being used, and can't tell, it looks like it's locked up. But this is what they would do to supply the food for the Great Camp. And what you're looking at right here is where they kept the livestock. For the camp. Well, let's go take a look at inside of one of those buildings. You can see the clouds are still dipping in. Sun's starting to burn it off a little bit. Very quiet and peaceful. Haven't seen anybody yet today. But it looks like the horses may have already gone up earlier in the morning. I don't know if you can see that sign, but it says this used to be the creamery. And I think it's going to be too dark for you to really see. Yeah, too much. In here. Yep, I'll have to come back, like I said, next year when it's a little bit lighter. So... and we'll see what this building is, but I won't even bore you taking you in there because you can't see anything right now. And this one says it was a gardener's cottage. I don't think you can read that, but I can get up on the porch. Wow. Unfortunately, I don't think you can see this, but this is, oh, it looks like you can. This is what the barnyard I just showed you across the street looked like in its heyday. This is really cool. They did not have this the last time I was out here. All those metal fittings that you can see that I showed you a few minutes ago are in there as well. Really very cool. They keep making little upgrades all the time. And there you have it. There's the quick 1 mile walk up to the farm from Route 28 in Newcomb, New York. This is the Santanoni Preserve, and today is Sunday, August 17th. I haven't had any coffee yet, so my brain wasn't fully awake, I think, when I recorded at the very beginning. But what is really cool, and why I really wish I could go up to the Great Camp itself, is the person who built this camp or designed this camp actually had gone to Japan. So all the buildings up there are set up and connected like a, I don't know, some kind of thing that I know you've probably seen in Japan, or when you see pictures of Japan. But it's set up like a Japanese camp, farm, whatever I'm trying to say here. And it's really fascinating that they did this way back in the 1800s, I think. And that what we saw at the very beginning when they were building it? Or when we walked in and they had the sign as to when they dated this. And it's just up here in the woods for anyone to see. It's only 5 miles in from Route 28, so it's an easy hike. You can see that the trees are covering it, so you can do it almost any time of day. But like I said, I used to do this walk with my dad and my kids once a year when I would come back and visit. And my dad used to do it in the wintertime on snowshoes when he was about 20 years younger. And so this was a cool little thing and a great way to spend a morning or afternoon. So hope you kind of like seeing some of the architecture and some of the things here, and maybe spur your interest a little bit in a great camp. And if you're ever in this area, I highly recommend that you come up here and give this thing a whirl. Take care.